morning, everyone, or afternoon, whatever it is. This is Karl F. Rose recording from Bedford, Pennsylvania. This is going to be my generic intro from now on because of my situation. I just have to sneak around and do videos from now on because of the things. Anyway, we're going to get into the video right after this. Good morning, everyone. This is Karl F. Rose recording from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Tuesday, September 4th, 2018, and I gotta hurry. As I've mentioned before, I have to sneak around and do videos, which is not fair to me. It's totally unfair to me. Get this off of, but nobody's home, and now I can do it. But when there are certain people around, I am not allowed to do anything. This is just ridiculous. I can't plan anything. I can't do like what, you should know. One, you can do videos whenever you want. Same with you, Everything King. You can do videos at work. You can do this. And as far as Brian G. Johnson and Nick Nimmin, you guys are morons. Morons. I can't do the things that you want to do. So I'm going to get into this Lions 53-man roster. But again, Nick Nimmin and Brian G. Johnson, you idiots. That's why I don't follow your channels anymore. But I will follow Everything King, and you should know one, because you know what you're talking about. And Motor City Sports Talk. You guys know what you're talking about. A little bit about me before I get into this. The reason I love the Lions and I bleed Honolulu blue is only the fact that I was born in Detroit. I grew up in the Los Angeles, or suburbs of Los Angeles, and I said this on a video, but I'll explain it again. My father, he took us to Rams game. I remember Roman Gabriel. I remember the fearsome foursome and the games between the Rams and the Vikings, which was great. Those were awesome games. The fearsome foursome on the Rams versus the Purple People Eaters on the Vikings. Awesome. The one game I remember in particular was the Rams and the Browns, and we saw the retirement game of Leroy Kelly. That was cool. So technically, actually, since most of my life was in the LA area, I should be more of a Rams fan. But my growing up watching football, it was always the Lions, and always on Thanksgiving Day. And it's funny, my older brother, who's a diehard Cowboys fan, and all my friends, they always wonder, why do you like the Lions so much? They always lose, and it's been this way. I've been following the Lions since 1968. And it's the same old story, and I predict a really bad year for them. In fact, I will put this in they will lose 75-0. I'm going to get this one out because I don't think I can get a video of it. But the first game of the week, when they play the Jets, they will lose 75-0 to the Jets. Darnold's going to just have a field day they're going to look like a Super Bowl team against the Lions because their defense can't do anything. Offense can't do anything. No points. You won't see the Jets have a good defense. So yeah, 75-0. That's my prediction for week 1. Now let me get into the 53-man roster. For Lions starters 53 schedule prediction. Now they predict them 8-8. I predict the Lions 0-16, and I don't even think they're going to get a point all season. I think they're going to get shut out every single game. But I'll do my updates and I'll adjust my things as they go weekly. Anyway, let's get on to this. Okay, quarterback, obviously Stafford there front, and then this bonehead, old man. Castle. I could do a better job than Castle. They need to cut him now. The New York Giants, and the reason I mentioned the New York Giants, I started following the Lions in '68. I started following the Giants in 1970. So I'm just as much of a Giants fan, really close to the Giants and the Lions. So there's a lot of love for the Giants. I mean, I remember the 1972 game when all the Giants had to do was win the game and to do a kneel down, and stupid Joe Pisarcik, the quarterback for the Giants, instead of taking a knee, he fumbles the handoff. The Eagles scoop it up and score and win the game on a kneel down play. That's how bad the Giants were. So I've been following, but at least throughout the years, see the difference between the Lions and the Giants. Throughout all those years, at least the Giants have been to and won. Been to more than one Super Bowl, and they've at least won one Super Bowl. Lions haven't even been to a Super Bowl, so there is something wrong with the Lions' top. And I call them an organized crime family, the Fords. They gotta go. The team is corrupt. They've got a criminal coach. He's teaching all their players to be criminals. Stafford, gambler. No wonder he's throwing the games on purpose. He makes more money from losing games on purpose. Plus, he's getting a bonus from the Lions for losing games on purpose. Tate, I'll get to him in a minute, but Tate is basically a crackhead. He needs to be tossed. They need to get rid of him. Okay. Running back, LeGarrette Blount. Looks like he's good. This is, as much as people want Abdullah to go, I think this is a good setup because the Lions will not have a 100-yard rusher individually. They just won't, not with their setup. But if you get 50 yards a game here, 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 that's 200, right around 200 yards on the ground per game. That will help them win games if they can do that. Rotate them around. So, and the thing is, the best part about that is you're not wearing down Blount and you're not wearing down Johnson. Biggest thing is fumblehead Abdullah. Now, I would be in favor of a trade with him if they can get a solid starting defensive player, preferably on the line, or actually, preferably if they could trade him for a starting linebacker. I mean, just a killer linebacker, but that'll never happen. That'd be the only way I could say Abdullah should be traded. Otherwise, just keep it there. Fullback, not much to say about that. It's going to be Nick Ballore. Receivers, Tate. This is going to be his last year, thankfully. Get him out of there. Not only that, Golden Tate is especially after the deal with OBJ on the Giants. Now even before they made the deal, he's just a big crybaby and wants way too much money. So actually, I say let Golden Tate let him play out his contract, let him have a great year, and that way the Lions can probably unload or trade him and get somebody decent, probably defensively. So let him play that out, let him have a good year, so that way they can deal him away for a good defensive person, which would be good. Jones starting, Galladay, that's good. Jones, best thing here, Brandon Powell. They kept Brandon Powell. That was a good move. So they look like they're okay there. I'm still saying they're going to lose all their games. Tight end, another one. They kept Valles. That was good. Now, it all depends on what these three do. I think if these three tight ends suck, put in Valles. Start him. But for now, I'm not too happy with Luke Wilson, but whatever. Try him out, let him go, let him see what he does. If he starts sucking, put in Valles. I mean, don't wait, because you're going to lose the game. Offensive line, they have the people, but they need to stay healthy, and they need to pass rush a lot better. If they don't pass rush, if they pass rush or they pass block the way they did during the preseason, then Stafford's going to be hurt. Then that's it. And that's going to be the end of the season. Oh, let me go back to the quarterback. Can't remember if I mentioned that or not. Dumping Matt Castle, getting what they need to do is the reason why they need to get the Giants just released Webb. Now, I'm not saying that Webb is a good quarterback, but he's got to be better than this. And even if Stafford goes down and they do replace Castle with Webb, it's still going to be a long season. But the reason I say Webb is because the Giants and the Lions have very similar styles, both sides of the ball. Personally, I think offensively, I know Stafford had a big influence in Jim Bob Stan. I think he needs to be demoted and just be a quarterback coach. Have Stafford with the Webb as a backup. Have Cooter just focusing on Stafford and Webb. That would be good. Get on a new offensive coordinator who can get the team going, call the right plays, and get points. Cooter is not a good offensive coordinator. Good quarterback coach, but not a good offensive coordinator. He needs to be demoted. And another thing about the Lions defense, the biggest thing I have with the Lions, I'm glad that they got rid of Caldwell, but what I was saying is they needed to get rid of Caldwell and promote Austin. Why in the hell they let him walk over to Cincinnati is beyond me. It's brainless, it's clueless. They don't even want to win. They should have offered Austin enough money for him to stay as a head coach, and you would not be seeing these defensive problems. I guarantee you would not be seeing these defensive problems. The guy that Patricia picked, I don't even know, Pastrami or whatever the hell his name is. I don't know what his name is, but he makes me want Gunther Cunningham back. That's pretty bad. I mean, because Gunther Cunningham really sucked. Hell, they could try and, if they could even get Dick LeBeau, former Lions player, because I remember when he played, but their defensive coordinator, Patricia's he's going to find out real fast that he's got to make changes in his coordinating. Okay, so wide receiver, let's see, okay, let me go back to this now. Defensive line, everybody raves about Ziggy. He's hurt most of the time, and I'm not a big Ziggy guy, and then he's got this contract. I hope he's gone by the end of the year. Hyder has potential. He was hurt. Let's hope he stays healthy, because I think Hyder's going to be the rock here. It's good that they have Ashawn Robinson and Deshaun Hand as backups. Zettel, why they kept Zettel, I don't know. I mean, he has periods of where he's good, but then he has periods where he is just absolutely awful. But since they are so thin here, I can see why they kept him. Maybe they can find somebody, through the waiver wires again. I think that's what's working. If some other defensive line person comes up, man, cut this guy, and somebody that's worthwhile. Cut Zettel and bring somebody else in. And then this Gene Francois and Sylvester Williams. It's okay. I mean, they're going to be toasted. Linebacker, Jared Davis is a big disappointment. Hopefully he picks it up. I'm glad they got Marquise Flowers, but if Jared Davis continues to suck, start Flowers in. Maben, I don't know why they kept him. I don't like Maben, never have and never will. He's but again, they're weak in the area, and just like Zettel, maybe they'll find somebody, cut him, and get somebody that can do the job. Then Christian Jones, Devon Kennard. Now, some people like Miles Killebrew, some people don't like Killebrew. I'm on the fence with him. I kind of like him. The reason, and it's good that I have him as a backup. He is versatile, so I think you'll be seeing him play a bunch of different positions, and eventually he'll sit into a spot. But he is versatile, but he has made some bonehead mistakes. So, but maybe there'll be something on the waiver wires where they can just pick somebody up and dump some of these pieces of trash out of there. Secondary, Slay is Slay. No need to talk about it. Lawson, and the contract he signed, I was furious on that. This guy sucks. He needs to go. Tease Tabor hasn't proven anything out, but at least he's a backup. Agnew, he's got the potential, but he just doesn't have really the experience. I think to get him more time in there and have him eventually replace Lawson. Glover Quinn, yeah, he needs to start. Tavon Wilson is another one that I don't like. But the only thing is Tavon Wilson and has a history. He kind of knows the New England style. I'm just hoping that Patricia can kind of groom him in, and the defense people can kind of groom him in, get him going with the New England style, and maybe he will work out. Then of course Quandre Diggs, he signed the big contract. He should be starting. I don't know why he's a backup. Walker, Washington, and this other guy, Virgin, I don't even know anything about him. Washington, I don't know. They need to hopefully hit the waiver wires, and if they can get somebody to replace him, cut him, and get somebody in there better. And then, obviously, Prater and Sam Martin. Those are locks for their position. Mulbach. Why they keep him is beyond me. They need to teach their center how to be a long center. Just cut him from the specialist altogether. Just cut him and let him go. Just retire from football. He needs to be out of football. He sucks. Get rid of them. Open up another defensive spot, actually. Just take out the third spot, fill it up with another defensive person, and there we go. But yeah, again, I'm predicting a 0-16 season. I'm going to predict losses every week, and this first one is going to be ugly. 75-0. The Jets are just going to trash the Lions big time. Well, that's it. I'll talk to you later.